Hi, Monique. It's nice to see you again. I'm glad you came back. This time we are going to talk a little bit about the SDS
Mhm.
and your struggle with changing a major. You told me last time that the major you're in right now is sports education,
Right.
but you were thinking more of school counselor or something a little bit more social due to your SDS code.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and look at your SDS. Last time we figured it out, I talked to you a little bit, explained it to you, and I had asked you to research your SDS code of SCA, which stands for Social, Conventional, and Artistic,
Mhm.
and compare it to the sports education, which you're in now,
Right.
which is a Holland code of ESR, which is enterprising, social, and realistic. Kind of a little bit different there.
Yeah.
So I drew up the Holland code for you here, and you can see the little hexagon, and I drew the lines to show consistency.
Mhm.
So right now, your social was very differentiated from the rest. It was extremely high compared to your C and your A.
Yeah.
So you were definitely thinking in the right aspect of majors if you're thinking in more of a social aspect. So
Mhm.
psychology, sociology, school counseling, education, since that was your highest score.
Mhm.
Your C was your next one. So you can see here your S and your C are kind of opposite, not necessarily as opposite as S and R, but a little bit more opposite on the scale here. And then you have artistic as well. So the artistic and the social are going to be extremely consistent with each other. You're going to find that your personality is going to fit into that sort of job very well
Mhm.
compared to what you have here, the ESR doesn't really fit your Holland code as much.
Right.
You can see where your S and your E are a little bit consistent here, but your S and your R are completely inconsistent.
Yeah.
So, and the R being one of the main ones in the S, for the ESR, you're going to find the R and the A kind of be a little bit opposite from each other.
Yeah.
So your Holland code is going to show you here with the SCA that you're definitely in a more social education major would suit you a lot better
Mhm.
than, let's say, the um, sports one.
Right.
But we'll go ahead and look at some of the jobs that I had asked you to look at before,
Okay.
which I had told you to look up 3 jobs relating to your Holland code of SCA. What were those jobs that you found?
Okay. One of them was the community and social service specialist. Um, its Holland code was SEC.
Okay.
There's also school counselor, which was SEC, and then the last one was a camp counselor, which was SEC as well.
Okay, so all of those are SECs. And you can see here that with your home code of the SCA and this, you're still getting that social aspect in here as well as that more conventional
Mhm.
aspect of education. What was it about these jobs that you found very interesting?
Well, about the community and social service specialist, it still had a social aspect. Like I said, that's really what I liked and really why I went into the sports education because I want to work with youth, I want to work with kids.
Okay.
So that was my main reasoning for picking that major. Um, the community and social service specialist uses more psychology than coaching, and I really like that.
Okay.
Um, I'm not sure about leading others and like teaching others, but I do want to have an influence. So,
Those are skills that you can also learn through your college career, and you might be able to find a major that allows you to do some internship
mhm,
or on the job training that will get you that training before you actually jump in. I
right,
know that sports education does something similar to that, but if you're looking more towards the community specialist or the school counselors, I do know as well that they probably have the on job training.
yeah,
So those are strengths that you can actually build up more
hmm
as you go throughout your program.
yeah.
What else did you see that you liked about those?
For the school counselor, it's in an environment that helps you, like I said, the social thing. Which I was surprised that when I did the SDS that ESR was the code because I thought it would have been closer to
Mm-hmm.
my personal thing. But I guess that's why I'm here is because I don't I'm not seeming to fit with the major that I have.
Okay.
So
there's a little bit of a disconnect there, which
right,
clearly you can see because the enterprising and the social are two different codes there and two different personality types.
right, and enterprising was probably like my second lowest
Mm-hmm.
code. So for ESR, the sports education, that's the highest one. So I definitely see why there is difficulty in that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sometimes people forget that the Holland Code and the SDS isn't telling you that this is the job that you have to have. No one's saying that you can't have, the job that you originally wanted, which was sports education. But you're going to find with the SDS, it's going to lead you more towards occupations and jobs that are going to be a little bit more in your comfort zone.
yeah,
They're going to match your personality a little bit more than jobs that you might just like. So that's what I'm here to kind of explain to you
yeah,
that, there's nothing wrong with that choice of sports education that you had before, but we'll work on your strengths that we found through the SDS to find you a major that might be more suited for you.
okay.
Um, let's see. Did you have any other questions that you wanted to talk about while you were here at the SDS?
Well, I was wanting to know. I know we talked about the codes a little bit, but I was wondering, like, how ESR relates to SEC. I know that it's a little bit different, but like, what exactly, like, does ESR stand for?
Well, ESR is going to be enterprising, social, and realistic.
Okay.
You're enterprising, you're going to get a little bit more of the, I don't want to say retail or leading. You're going to be more of a leader in that aspect. Kind of pushing your way through entrepreneurship is a lot of what people think about with the E. So sports education would fit into that because you're going to have a little bit more leeway with creating your curriculum, and there's a bunch of different sports out there. It's a very broad career, broad occupation. There's different areas that you can go into. We talked about the social before and how that's it's very on hands-on and working with people, and I don't want to say people pleasing, but you want to have an influence on them. You want to be able to work with others in a social aspect. Does that make sense? All right, and the R is going to be realistic, which would be more of the math and science and hands-on building and whatnot. So and that kind of goes with the sports. You're on your feet, you're playing, and all that stuff.
That was my lowest score. I had like a 3
But there's
on that.
obviously a reason that you like sports. So the Holland Code isn't definite. It doesn't tell you this is what you have to do, but it can help you, like I said before, it can help you guide your personality towards a career that you might find. So, yeah, you like sports and you might be good at it, and that's probably why you chose it in the first place. But you told me before that school counseling or this community job might seems a little bit more interesting to you.
It will fulfill more of my social needs, basically. And now I can understand, that, and like I said, why, maybe the sports education may not be for me. But I think with, them both being social, that I could still use what I've learned and, easily switch majors.
Awesome. Well, I hope that cleared up some of it for you. And what I want you to do for next time is kind of look into these two careers and what the requirements are for majors. So if you need a psychology undergrad or, what the master's might be. And next time we can go ahead and talk about actually getting you on that track to your new major. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
Awesome. Thanks for meeting with me.
Thank you.